This week will be all about singing.
Oh my God, no.
I think when I meet Shell and Noah, I'm gonna tell him I'm Dylan and definitely slip in the Broadway situation. Just so he knows.
Why don't you sing? Fuck us, dude.
I wake up happy, the roses are brighter and they smell better, and the world is just a lot more beautiful knowing that I have immunity and I get to stay here 1 week longer.
Opera, it looks like.
Dear Americans, I hope you guys have your vocal cords all warmed up. This week will be all about singing.
Yes.
600,000 Swedes sing in choirs on a regular basis, and now it's your turn.
No, I'm the worst singer in the world.
I wouldn't say that I'm like a good singer, but other people would tell you I'm a good singer. You are in Sundsvall, the choir capital of Sweden, and you will stay with some singers to get your piece of the Swedish choir community.
Oh, shit.
Jack, Nathan, Anne, and Tori. You will stay with the choir director, Rigmor. And Cassandra, Kristen, Dylan, Amanda, and Kurt, you will stay with Pontus, member of the KFUM choir. I'm super looking forward to living with a member of the choir, and what I do is sing, so I think I'm gonna really hit it off with our host. How's your singing voice, Kristen?
Terrible. I can't sing. What do you want me to say? Oh, God. No. Amazing grace.
Since your family's from around here, maybe you have something extra in your genes?
How sweet the sound. Not a voice.
Maybe it was fate that made you win last week's challenge and made you safe from elimination in your hometown. The rest of you will compete later, and I'm sorry to say that this week, not one, but two of you will have to leave Allt for Sverige.
It's hard when anyone goes home. It's hard to be in that emotional state because we become so close. To have two people simultaneously go home, I just honestly don't know how to handle that.
This week, the coffer contains Kjell Lonoa, the Swedish king of choirs, pictures of your choirs, a family treasure chest. It belongs to you, Kristen. Have fun, Anders. Check this out.
Choirs? People look so fun. These people look so young and fun.
I wonder what kind of music this is. Opera?
Choir music?
It's pretty.
It sounds somber, actually.
I know.
No,
They did say two of us are going home. This is our funeral music for sure.
The title says Kyrie.
With the rain and just the somber music just kind of reminds me of a funeral. So I'm ready to send two other people home packing. It's very appropriate for their funeral indeed.
I'm totally looking forward to staying at the choir person's house because now it's like we actually get to experience things the way that Swedes do. I'm Kristen. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
Hello, Kurt. Can I give you a hug?
It's kind of an awkward moment. I'm not used to being hugged so quickly like that from strangers, but I felt welcome.
I'm extremely happy to have you here. I'm thrilled and a bit nervous.
Okay.
Please sit down.
Okay.
When I first met Pontus, I figured that he was a very classy individual. He has a beautiful apartment with a beautiful view. Like, I think that like most Americans, think of Swedes like that, like very classy, very cultured, very minimalistic, artsy-fartsy apartment. Like, yeah.
Sundsvall.
Sundsvall. Wow, it's so pretty.
Hi. My name's Ingvar.
It's lovely to meet you. Beautiful home.
Your home
Yeah,
is
your house
I like that.
is beautiful.
Yes.
It has a good acoustic feel to it.
Yes. Tomorrow you're going to sing with my choir. Oh, fun.
I cannot wait.
Exciting? Yes.
A little bit.
Shall we try one?
Yes,
Let's do it.
okay.
Let's do it.
Do you know this song?
I've never been told I was ever good at singing. That's never stopped me from singing. My mom's gonna be horrified by this, but I'll give it a go and just hopefully my confidence will outshine my lack of musical talent.
Somebody to lean on.
Good groove.
That was beautiful.
You sing lovely. I think it's going to be easy to.
Oh, thank you.
And my girls in the choir are going to love you. And me, I love you too.
And me especially.
What are we making?
This chanterelle soup, and we're gonna fry some sausages and some vegetables.
You made all this on your own?
The soup, yes.
Okay, so in America, men don't cook.
You don't?
It is super sexy that a man can cook. And honestly, if that's how it is in Sweden, I think I need to spend some more time here and maybe find a man that can cook.
This is my sisters. No, they are not my sisters. They are friends from my choir.
Oh,
Who's gonna be with us tonight, Sissi and
Hi,
Mila.
Kristen. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Who is the choir leader tomorrow? What's his name?
His name is Kjell Lunnå.
So what is he going to teach us tomorrow? Do you know?
Oh, well, we don't
It's
know.
always a surprise with Kjell Lunnå. You don't know anytime.
Because we know this is the 25 songs we're gonna sing, and during the concert, and now we take this song, and I don't have a clue. So you get
plays the intro.
yeah, and then you start. Look.
But you all can't pretend to be singing
No.
it.
The most of the choir.
That's what I was planning on doing. Some of you guys have to really fill in the gap of me not singing.
It only works with one or two people.
Being around people that are very talented is like, okay, how can I blend? And then I'm like, well, we have the lagom, which is like, you know, kind of like just being in the middle. So hopefully they will have a need for somebody who just is in the middle, and then they can do their solos.
At the concerts, you always wear two golden pens, and on the rehearsal he has a scarf, a white one, the same every time, I think. Yeah. So it's a little
superstitious.
a little,
Very
yeah.
superstitious.
Yeah.
No, wait, so if we show up and he has the pens, it's like, oh no.
No,
We don't know what's going on. Singing is not a thing that I do. I'm scared. But as long as Dylan is beside me, I will feel much more empowered. So I really hope that he is near.
Dylan, we've heard you sing all these kind of like new age songs. Can you do some opera for us?
Please do, please.
Well, it's okay. So it's Italian, but it's very like basic. So caro mio ben. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. And that's how I'm giving you right now.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea he could sing opera. I shouldn't be surprised though, but it was definitely a treat for the evening with dinner and wine and everything. Yeah, it was just a very classy moment with Pontus and Dylan together. It's amazing.
will need forks.
Yeah. Start with one.
Hi, guys. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hilda.
Hilda.
Yes. Hilda. Victoria.
What do you think what makes the choir culture popular in Sweden? Because like in America, it's kind of not anymore.
I think it's fun, most of it.
Yeah.
People enjoy singing and feel good about it. So.
And not everyone wants to be alone on stage.
No.
And then a choir is very safe.
That's a good point, yeah.
In America, people tend to sing alone because it's a very individualistic society. So it's always about one person wanting to shine, one person singing the song, being the rock star, being the superstar. And I think that might be part of it. Americans usually don't tend to work as well together. They want to be the top of the hill. And I think that's a good thing about the choir.
I like it's teamwork and make it together.
Well, and it's just weird too. I don't know what it is. Like if you're just singing with a bunch of people, it's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It just kind of makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
No matter what you're singing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I propose a toast for singing and joyful voices, all of us. Cheers.
Welcome. How are you?
Good.
Yeah? Your forefathers not only witnessed but took active part in the most dramatic events in Swedish history of all times, I would say. Between 1850 and 1920, more than 1/4 of our population left. It took a while before Swedish authorities realized the magnitude of the problem. At the beginning of our industrialization, the country was losing its workforce. And we have actually managed to find one of the films that were made to stop emigration. It's from 1911. Wow. So here's the amulet from 1911. The emigrant in this film is rather well off. But just the same, have seen the advertisements and now we want to go to America. It's a short guy there, he's the emigrant. In the next scene, you will see that he's been tricked by shady guys to a dive bar. He's putting knockout pills in his drink. That's what happened when you get to the States. And now he's drinking. And here he passes out, of course. They take everything, his shoes, all his possessions. And now it's going downhill for our Swedish emigrant here. Next time, we find him in the hospital because he's so ill. And judging from the faces of the doctors, we have a problem. It seems like it is too late. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh my gosh.
And if you didn't get the subtle message, it is don't go.
You know, it was really interesting to see how media were used to try to scare people. So it was definitely propaganda, which is still used today in little subtler ways in both America and I assume here in Sweden.
The other reaction that came to emigration in 1907 was initiated by the state, and it was called the Emigration Investigation. It soon became something of a solo project led by this man, Gustav Sundberg. Gustav Sundberg is totally forgotten today, but I'm starting to think that he's one of the major reasons Sweden changed for the better. And when he finally, after 5 years of survey, presented his result, the list of shortcomings in society was long. The miserable working conditions for the farm workers, unemployment, the lack of opportunities to climb the class ladder, the lack of right to vote for the lower classes. These things had to be dealt with if emigration were to stop. That was his conclusion. And soon after he had presented his survey, Sweden did start to change. The right to vote for the lower classes came first, and then slowly the social welfare society. But this would not have happened without your forefathers' decisive action. Analyzed and summarized by Gustav Sundberg, emigration should be seen as a giant protest movement against an old fossilized society, against poverty, against inequality. And this silent rebellion revolutionized Sweden without a revolution, in a very Swedish and lagom way. And this guy, Gustav Sundberg, maybe has deserved a fancy statue somewhere in a park with his name. Thank you, Gustav, and thank you, guys.
That's great.
I loved learning about Gustav. Totally my type of person. Smart and get stuff done. This is the information that I feel like we would never get on our own. So I'm happy to be a part of this.
Right now, I'm living in Fremont, California. It's where I grew up, and it's also where I moved out when I was 18 because I could not wait to get out. And then I moved to LA and lived there, lived some life. For the past few years, I've just been traveling. And so Fremont at my mom's house is kind of my home base in between all of my travels. So during my travels over the last few years, I went to Central America. I lived in Australia, Cambodia, Thailand, Japan, but my big one was in India. I lived in an orphanage for 2 months. I can't explain the feeling of like giving, whether it's money or time. And I always say it's a selfish thing that I do, whether it's volunteering my time or money, because I don't know how much it's actually helping the other person, but it makes me just feel like, oh my God, I'm doing actually everything that I can do to help someone else. For about 3 years, I've kind of been doing this like in the country for a month, out of the country for 4 or 5 months. So to support myself, I kind of do whatever is gonna pay me. So I've driven for Uber, I've been a personal assistant, I've worked in PR, I ran a fitness studio, I nanny, and yeah, I've donated eggs 13 times. Way more than like you're legally allowed to. But at the end, they were paying me 20 grand each time and I couldn't say no. I mean, I could, but who doesn't want 20 grand tax-free? It's gonna be weird not seeing you guys for a while. I mean, gosh, what if I just decide I want to live in Sweden forever?
Right, you could possibly find love.
Yeah, and I could think of worse places to be than Sweden, that's for sure.
I get asked why I'm single all the time, and the only answer that like blurts out of my mouth is because my patience is short for men and the stupid things that they do. I totally consider myself a black sheep in the family. I've just never done anything kind of by the books. So I push boundaries, and I think I'm a risk taker, and I've just always had this very kind of mind of my own.
I'll see you hopefully not too soon.
Okay.
No!
I keep traveling around the world, but I can't find home, I can't find.
I've done a lot to get to where I am on this adventure right now, and being moments away from having that moment that I really came here for, I'm hoping that everything just starts to make sense now. I feel like regardless of what I find out, I'm going to welcome it, whether it's positive or negative. There's obviously a reason that my family left Sweden, and I think that for me it's just more about having that information rather than feeling badly about something that my ancestors have done. Dear Kristen, this is a love story about 2 people from different places in Sweden whose paths once crossed and eventually led to you. It begins with John Ersson, born 1811 in Friskende farmland, in a world full of poverty and hardship. When John was 8, his mother died suddenly of pneumonia. His father died just 3 years later. John was now orphaned at 11. He and a brother were put into foster care and forced to start working on different farms at an early age. In 1839, John ended up in Västra Mätbacken, Ostmark, where Kirsten stole his heart. They were married within a year and had 8 children between 1840 and 1864. Their last, a son, was also named John. But John Jr. met a childhood similar to his father. When he was 4, his father died suddenly, leaving his mother, Shushton, alone with the children. She did her best to help them survive, but John Jr. still lost 2 of his siblings before they reached the age of 5. So for Kirsten to raise these 8 kids alone, I can't even imagine, because my mom raised me alone, but there's just one of me. And so for her to do that growing up in this time with not a lot of money and not a lot of help, I mean, I can't even figure out how she would feed all 8 kids. I've always had this call to help others, and especially children, and do orphanage work, and I've never known why. And reading that members of my family were once orphans just ties everything in for me. And I feel like I really had that calling because there was some instinctual notion that this had happened to your family, and so now you just want to give back as much as you can. Due to poor living conditions in Värmland, many poor farmers eventually left to seek a better future along the East Coast, where the sawmill industry was now booming. In 1879, when John Jr. was 15, his mother also relocated to Skåne in Sundsvall, where you are now. The red houses in Skånvik is where the sawmill workers like John Johnson lived with their families. Feels like really grounding to be around these homes, because I know that my family used to live in one of these. And it's kind of like I'm coming home in a weird way. About the same time, in the nearby village of Timra, a young girl named Anna was struggling through a difficult childhood of her own. She'd lost a father too, but not to death like with John's dad. Anna's father just left. Anna's unmarried mother was forced to stay with her parents before she thankfully met a more caring husband-to-be, a grocery clerk named Johan, who accepted her illegitimate daughter Anna and even gave her his own surname. However, when Anna reached young adulthood, history would repeat itself. Anna became pregnant, and her dear mother, who recognized the situation, convinced her husband to let Anna stay with them after her son was born. 2 years later, they too decided to move to Skåne in Sundsvall, and the paths of Anna and John were to cross. Love struck at once, and they married in February 1889. John didn't care that Anna had a previous child. In fact, Anna was already pregnant when he swore to forever be her husband. Later in summer, Anna gave birth to their daughter Hulda. The ensuing baby boom produced 4 daughters and 1 son, Carl. Finding this out kind of makes me realize that there are good guys in this world, and it's kind of inspiring. I would not be here if these men didn't step into these women's lives, and I mean, I don't want to feel like they saved these women, but at the same time, I feel like these women needed a bit of saving. Life was still hard, but far better than before. Anna raised children and John worked at the sawmill. But then, World War I broke out and Sweden went through its most dramatic change in modern history. Food shortage due to the war and the injustice to poor industry workers all shook Sweden to the core. In October 1917, John died of an intestinal obstruction. His son Carl had become a sailor and emigrated to Canada a few years before John's death. His sister Hildur had also already left Sweden, leaving her daughter Elfie behind in the care of Hulda, likely because Elfie had been too young to risk the trip. But 1 year later, your ancestor Hulda bravely took her niece Elfie in her arms and followed her siblings to Canada, traveling from Gothenburg to Winnipeg, where she delivered Elfie safely to her mother Hildur. Hulda met and married Michael Werner. They left Canada for America, where they had a daughter in 1933, your grandmother, Mary Ann Werner. 2 generations later, you were born. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by everything I just read. Coming into today, I was really expecting something negative. And instead, it kind of like turned around and became two very beautiful love stories. Love has never been a priority for me. And it's funny because it seems like women in my past have really made love a priority. And so now I'm starting to think that I'm going about this all wrong. And it's really propelling me to the next level of my life in the next chapter.
I think when I meet Shell and Noah, I'm gonna give him a firm handshake and tell him I'm Dylan and definitely slip in the Broadway situation. Just so he knows.
Oh, hello. Hello. Surprises, surprises. You are from US?
Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you. Give me a kiss.
Oh. We had a very artistic, friendly hello that I thought was normal.
Are you the one they told me that you are a singer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a singer.
Why don't you sing?
Hi. I thought that I would walk up and say, hi, I'm Broadway's Dylan Rattel and be really into it, but just having him talk to me kind of made me be like, I don't know.
I'm Kurt.
Kurt.
I come from upstate New York, where there are more cows than people.
Good.
My name's Amanda.
From?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Portland.
So this is what you wear for rehearsal days?
Yeah.
Are we gonna be rehearsing today?
Yeah.
One thing that's really special is when I was 15 years old, I was in choir practice, and that was the very first day that this incredibly handsome guy showed up at my church. And my heart just fell. He was so gorgeous. I was sitting with my sister a few weeks later, and I leaned over to her, and I said, that's the guy I'm going to marry someday. And we did. We were married 3 years later, and it was an amazing marriage, and we met in choir practice.
Okay, can we try Circle of Life?
Uh-oh. You ready, Nathan?
I don't remember. Do we have the lyrics? Ing anyaman nengwen amabala. What does that mean?
Nathan, you want to try?
Okay. Na Jaguinya Babagita Baba. Whoop. Let me. Let me start over. Na Jaguinya Babagita Baba. For The Lion King, they asked who wants to sing the beginning, and I kind of, at the first I said it as a joke. She's like, okay, yeah, good, you can do it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And so I did it a few times, and kind of now I'm stuck with it. So.
Nathan starts off the Lion King song, the famous one. He's nailing it. He's doing a really good job, but I think he's worried about doing that in front of an audience.
Usually I would be nervous about this, I think, but I kind of feel like when in Sweden, maybe?
Now when you have come back to your roots, to Sweden, it's really a good and happy lifetime, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, I would say, hey, hey, hey.
Immediately when the choir came in, it was like a little bit of chaotic energy that was going to be all transferred into music. And when he was composing, it was like a painter making the most brilliant painting with vocal cords just for us to feel. You can see how much fun he's having, how much he's enjoying his art, and you can see just like the give and the take. And I'm tearing up.
Sit near. Have you ever listened to something about Swedish music or so?
The only thing I know about Swedish choirs is that Michael Nyqvist movie, As If in Heaven.
Oh, you know that song?
That was beautiful.
That was really good. Like Shell, he was so quirky and so funny, and he's just so active at 81. I think he's like living proof that like working a job that you love and you'll never feel like you work again, because like at being 81 and he's still working and being so passionate about his job, it's really inspiring.
Ska vi våga oss på aftonen?
I did get to sing, and guess where they put me? They put me in the baritone. So I got to go, moo, and more of that.
Very good.
I thought he was going to be a stoic, stern kind of man, but he ended up being a very quirky, fun, relatable person, and I guess that makes the music that much more energetic. It felt like one big musical hug. They're a great choir.
When they told us that we were going to sing with the choir in a performance, I got a little bit nervous, but to be able to do that with my friends and with these amazing singers, I think it's going to be a really special experience.
Okay, we two blend in. We can be with all those sopranos and get away with anything. Unfortunately, you guys kind of stand. I mean, you do blend kind of in. You know, the
You have
long
a
blonde
solo.
hair.
Yeah, I know.
Get a solo.
I can't wait.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
Well, first, seeing all them perform, I was so thankful that I wasn't up there. And it was funny because I could hear each one of their voices, like a teeny bit.
It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
So we're watching the performance, and I'm having a great day, and I saw if I could get up on stage and share a little song with the audience because I was feeling really connected to them, and I wanted to share that.
Mio ben, credimi a me, senza di te languisce il cor, il tuo fedel sospira ognor, cessa crudel tanto rigor.
Thank you.
It was just perfect. And when Dylan sings, it's like you can see the depth of his soul. So, I don't know, it was so beautiful to watch Dylan sing. sing song, which was awesome.
And I felt bad because I was laughing. I didn't want to think I thought it was bad. I was laughing because it was so spot on and so Nathan to have that solo, and he nailed it.
The performance tonight was amazing. Nathan, I had no idea that he had that in him. It was a wonderful surprise.
It's just kind of like go all in or go home. And I wasn't going to go home when I'm already up there, so I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a good time today.
Skål and welcome.
Skål.
Thank you so much.
I almost cut the tip of my finger off. Guys, this is a disaster.
Don't look. You're good.
We can boil them.
Working in the kitchen all the livelong day. Everybody is starving, whether you're done or not.
So finish up and...
Sorry.
Okay. Don't apologize. It was
Been
beautiful.
singing all day. I had to make something up.
That was improv?
That was amazing. I literally thought that was a song.
I thought it was... Girl, that was really good.
Got one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I got her. Whoa. This adventure is changing me as a person. I think it's making me a deeper person. It's changing me in a good way. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, he is.
Before Sweden meant the history of my family. It was always a place that I was proud to be Swedish, but really had no feel for it. Bye-bye. And now I feel very whole, and I feel wonderful just being here.
Friends, welcome to Noro. We take a skål and then we eat. Skål.
Thank you so much. I would like to say how thankful I am for Pontus and Caron for letting us stay in your homes. If Swedish people are like you, I'm obsessed.
Yes.
And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the hospitality.
No, we're just all so thankful to be here. Like every single moment that we're here is definitely a blessing.
It was beautiful. Their voices all were so different, but they harmonized so well together.
Just went right through me. It touched me deeply in my heart. It was just the ending of a perfect day. I've had a few of those in Sweden, and I can hardly wait to see what tomorrow brings.
Absolut. Jag kan mejla dig en skiss om en liten stund. Jag ska hämta på dagis nu. Och, fan, jag ska göra på allt för Sverige. Vänta, kan du vänta lite bara? Att hinna med vardagens alla åtaganden behöver inte vara något problem. Här är några handfasta råd. Gör en lista över de 400-500 viktigaste sakerna i ditt liv. Prioritera dem. Utvärdera dina åtaganden hemma, på jobbet, på fritiden med barnen. Rensa kalendern. Ät ordentligt. Skapa morgon- och kvällsrutiner. Lyssna på din kropp. Planera din vecka. Gör ett schema. Sov ordentligt. Avsätt tid. Nej, inte du. Avsätt tid för att göra en lista över sakerna på den här listan. Ordna dem i bokstavsordning. Var noggrann och effektiv och du ska se att du kan klämma in ännu fler saker i kalendern. Sätt igång nu. Ska du se att du kan hinna med ännu mer av det som ska hinnas. Och vinna dagens tävling. Ja, då var det jag igen. Nej fan, nu ska grabben bli hämtad från fotbollsträning. Kan du hämta Matilda och köra henne till dansen? Du, skulle vi kunna ses i natt och gå igenom punkterna så kan jag tvätta samtidigt? Kanon!
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, the elimination. Double elimination.
I know. I keep thinking about it, and it just gives me butterflies. And I hope that it doesn't make it so that the competition itself makes me so nervous that I can't perform, because I want to stay so badly. My father was put in hospice about 3 or 4 days ago. And this is something that we knew might happen, but we're hoping wouldn't happen. And I think, you know, my dad is hanging on to get the end of the story. He's so excited. He's hanging on because what we're doing is finding the secret in the family. And this is a reason that he would sacrifice me not being there by his bedside at the moment. So I'm on a journey to get all this information, find our family, and pull it together for the rest of us. That's what he asked me to do.
It makes me sick to my stomach to know that 2 of us are going to go home. It's hard enough when 1 person leaves, but to have 2 simultaneously, I don't even want to think about that.
This isn't the way I'm gonna go. Like, today is not the way I'm gonna go. I still have way too much to see and do here in Sweden, so I've been telling myself for the past 24 hours that I'm not going home, and it's already out there, I'm not going home.
Hello again. The most usual phrase used by Swedish parents of today has to be "Vem hämtar idag?" Who will take the kids home from school today? Always said with a slight tone of panic in the voice. Over the years, we have achieved a welfare society maybe more extensive than anywhere else on the planet. Still, we've never been more helplessly lost when it comes to getting the jigsaw puzzle of everyday life together. Now we are hoping that you can show us how to do it. In today's challenge, you will compete in teams, 2 and 2. The winning team today will win the immunity in next competition next week. The losing team will have to leave Allt för Sverige today. Jack, you will team up with Dylan. Kurt, you will team up with Cassandra. Amanda with Nathan. Tori with Anne. Christine, as you won the last challenge, you have immunity today and will not compete. You're safe. Good luck, everyone. I dagens utslagstävling gäller att kunna samarbeta. Deltagarna tävlar parvis och ska tillsammans fylla en diskmaskin med disk, sortera och rulla ihop strumpor i matchande mönster och färg, vika en flyttkartong på rätt sätt, fylla den med diverse föremål och sen ställa den på hyllan. Till sist ska de spika upp 3 spikar på en vägg och hänga upp 3 tavlor. De sitter dessutom ihop med varandra med höger respektive vänster hand i varsin grytvante. Paret som gör det på kortast tid blir immuna i nästa veckas tävling. Och det par som tar längst tid på sig får lämna Allt för Sverige.
Of all the people, I think you and I are a perfect team. I really do. I'm excited. We're both a little stressed, though. It is a bad hair day. I have a boost of confidence. I feel fabulous that I have Tori.
We're not going down.
No,
You're
we're
pretty
gonna
fast
win.
and strong, and I'm, yeah.
I think we can do this.
I think
we
so
can do
too.
this.
I'm not worried at all. I think I got a pretty good partner.
So I'm gonna get all the socks onto the table and you're gonna start pairing them and folding them.
You anchor it. We fold them.
So they just, okay. Okay, that was fast. This challenge is perfect for me and Anne. She's a mom and a wife. She's been that her whole life. Loading a dishwasher, I mean, it doesn't make her nervous. She can carry dishes. I've been a waitress, so I feel very lucky to be her partner.
Okay, here's the table. I'm gonna be on the left. I'm gonna grab the plate and then put it right there. And we're gonna grab all the silverware, just toss it in the middle. And I'm gonna grab the cups too, make little piles.
My personal strength in this competition is that I'm pretty good at remaining calm. You don't want to load the dishwasher when you're flustered. You'll break.
Okay, I got you, I got you.
Over here.
Grab that one. Okay, good. Good, okay. Ready? Good, okay.
That one needs another one. There it is.
Okay, one more. Right here. Some right there. Good. Okay, ready? Go. Now I'm gonna rip this box open. Okay. Okay. No, this way, upside down. Ready? A. Hold. Flip. Pull A. Turning. Okay, put the book in.
I feel like I had a sock in my mouth.
Okay, ready, lift. Slide it in. Okay, go, go, go. Okay. Truck goes down, truck goes down. Hold it. Next.
Okay, just get your fingers in. We're good.
And go, 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 go.
One nail. Sorry,
I don't care, keep going.
I can't imagine doing it any faster. I just think we did our best, and I think we did it without any mistakes.
Last one, basically, you grab the hammer, I'll grab the paintings
Okay,
and the
right.
nails.
Okay.
I'll carry everything over.
You know what you could actually do?
I'm just grabbing
and
the
this is, I mean, a carpenter, this is how they do it.
Oh.
Put the nails in their mouth. Okay? So get the 4 nails, just take out 1 nail at a time. I'm great with a hammer.
Okay, so
You don't
we're
have
like
to worry
this.
about it.
I am so excited to be partnered with Kurt on this competition because he knows how to build, he has strategy, and he can put stuff together. And he's a great dude.
Okay, so let's kind of move around. So our strategy is to win. It's not merely to not get eliminated. It's to win that immunity. We really want to do that. We want to get our timing really concise and succinct, and I think we have what it takes.
Yeah, you guide it. I think Jack and I have what it takes to win this. I think we're gonna be safe.
Klara, färdiga, gå!
Dude. Okay.
This goes
A is up.
like that.
I got it.
Put this down. Wait. Put the books in. Put the box. Put this side down for me.
Like
This
that?
side.
This side?
Grab the handle. Up. Perfect. Grab it.
Yep.
And up.
Close the top.
And in.
Okay. Here I have the result. The fastest team today and the team that will win the immunity in next competition is Victoria and Anne.
This feels like $1 million. It's
does.
just another step in the fairy tale. It feels
We get to go
perfect.
more places and have more adventures.
Yes.
And the second best team today was Amanda and Nathan.
Yes! Can't believe it.
Congratulations, you're safe. You can also walk away. So it stands between the four of you. Both teams had problems getting the box together. Two of you will get to stay. Two of you will have to leave. And the two are leaving today
Really strong going into this.
They're both strong teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
terrifying.
really had no idea who. If you asked me, like, before we started doing all this, who would win, what places, I'm like, I don't have a goddamn clue.
felt the grass, I've smelled the air, I've seen the mountaintops that are more like hills. I come from Utah, but I loved everything about Sweden.
Did you feel at home?
Absolutely. Sweden felt more like home than America does.
I came here after.
Yeah. You could tell when the Mormons came in. So many names.
I thought I was lucky to have a Swedish heritage, but I didn't realize how lucky I was to have that. I think that the home I've been looking for so long was right here the whole time.
It's time for you to get a taste of everyday life.
Hello, gentlemen.
Yeah, right away it was a little awkward. We didn't know what to do, and they kind of didn't dare tell us what to do.
Hi, we have a list, a grocery list. On the shopping list, we've got Grattlfill.
Who puts a banana in a taco?
You're doing the Swedish way.
I wish I would have known this my whole life.
I'm gonna trade places with you.